Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 14. Before I get started with today's episode, I do want to make some announcements or clarifications. I am not a professional. I often will make mistakes, and I will probably make mistakes on this video. I do these videos for fun, but I do want to leave you guys with a little bit of information that you can take and expand on it. If you hear something from me, you kind of want to know a little bit more, I will recommend you to go read it up. There is Eve University, where you can find a lot of the topics that I cover explained a little bit better than I can probably explain it. I'm only doing this in a video format for some of you people that kind of want to see what it is that people are talking about. Okay? Today we're going to be talking about Abyssal Death Space. I'm going to be a little bit more scientific than I was in the previous episode. I did left it a little bit ambiguous of how I was doing these sites. I didn't cover what targets I primaried. This is something coming from the comments I received in the EVE Online Facebook group. So if you have not joined the EVE Online Facebook group, I strongly recommend you doing that. There is a lot of interesting people, pilots in there. Sometimes you'll learn something, sometimes you won't. There's a lot of bickery, but it's a pretty fun group to be on. Okay, so if you have not done that, make sure you join the EVE Online Facebook group. It's an awesome community to be around. Okay, so let's continue. The Abyssal Death Space and how I'm going to turn this a little bit more scientific is to actually cover this in a little bit of a drier methodology today. So today I'm going to be getting the information from the wiki.eveuniversity.org/abyssal_dead space. And much like anything in the game, you can find these topics in this website particularly, but if you have any questions about how to run missions, where to find certain items or anything, you can just come and look it up here. Okay, so let's talk about the basics. Now, the ships required to be running these sites are going to be a single Tech 1, a Tech 2, a Navy faction, or a pirate faction cruiser, which in my case, like you've seen me many times, I run it with my Gila. Up to 2 destroyers. I have seen the Hakates run or try to run this. I think it was a Hakates, but any destroyer will be able to run this, and up to 3 frigates. Now, whenever you are running these 2 sites, the 2 destroyers will require 2 filaments. The 3 frigates will require 3 filaments. Now, you are able to just go in with one other person in the frigate side. So you can do this by yourself. The loot is a little bit higher, but the risk is a little bit higher as well. Now, you cannot start one of these sites if you're close to a gate, stations, or mobile depot within the 100-kilometer range. And you cannot start one of these sites if there's another abyssal trace within 1,000 kilometers of you. So if anybody else running abyssal sites near you, make sure they're not within 1,000 kilometers of you. The instance is going to close after 20 minutes. So what that means is that yes, you may be able to kill all the NPCs in the 20 minutes, but that doesn't guarantee you that you're out of the abyssal. There is a couple of rats that will like to fly all the way to the corner of your third bubble or your second bubble or whatever bubble you're in, and will really slow you down to return to the transfer conduit or the origin conduit, which just takes you out of the 3 bubbles that you're in, right? So if you don't make it out of the conduit, out of the 3 space balls within the 20 minutes, you are going to be destroyed. Your pod will be destroyed, and your ship will also be destroyed. Right? Your pod will immediately be destroyed. Now, there is 7 tiers of the Abyssal Death Space combat sites, starting at 0, going all the way to 6. There is 5 different types of weather effects. Each of them will have their bonuses, and each of them will have their weaknesses. The NPCs you will be facing may all be the same in each of the 3 different rooms. However, you may also face completely different rooms. You will probably see in the run that I'm going to be doing, you're going to have like a Terclavian, you're going to have rogue drones, and Maybe the last room, maybe the infamous martial room. And these rooms are all completely different NPCs, and they each have a different way of attacking them. Some of them you will likely want to target the frigates first. Some of them you may not. Some of them you will go for the battleships first because they have a tremendous DPS that you really have to take them off the field. So we'll be kind of covering that a little bit later on the actual run that I'm going to be doing. Now, where am I? So yes, once you enter, you will have 20 minutes to begin. The loot will be found in the bio-adaptive cache if you're running a cruiser side. If you're running a frigate side, it will be in the bio-combinative cache. And these two will be the main places where you're going to be finding your loot, or that expensive loot. Now, if you have time to get to the other nodes, which will be the extraction nodes and the sub nodes, you may also find relatively good loot. Sometimes it will be 10,000 ISK, 100,000 ISK, which is basically nothing, and it actually takes a lot from your time. You will not know which actual pod has the best, but relatively these will always have the best loot in the room. These two different ones, and again, the Triglavian bioadaptive cache will be if you're running a cruiser, and I'm assuming the destroyer as well. And if you're running a frigate class Abyssal, you're going to be doing the Triglavian biocombinative cache. Excuse me, guys. So the two sides. Now, I'm not going to be covering this because I don't do PvP. Just so you know, there is PvP within the Abyssal Death Space. You can actually get a different gate within the Abyssal Death Space that it goes to Proving Grounds. I'm not going to cover that because I do not do PvP, especially not with the ships that I fly. Okay? If you want to do that, you can come back and read this stuff. That's not something that I'm going to cover. I'm usually not an expert on that, not having even tried to run sites. Now, let's talk a little bit about the weather effects. Now, the 5 weather effects are going to be fires. Where's the firestorm? Okay, so there's dark matter fields. There is the wow, they don't tell you there you go. There it is. So there will be electrical, there will be dark, exotic, firestorm, and gamma. These are the 5 weather types that you're going to be seeing. Woo. Let's go back. Now, each of them have, like I said, their bonuses and their penalties. So I run electrical. So my penalty is the EM resist, but you also get a bonus to your capacitor recharge. So that means that you get to recharge a lot faster. You get way more cap. The darks will have a penalty to turret optimal and the fall off range. They will also have a bonus to max velocity, plus 50%. The exotics will have a penalty to kinetic resist, but it will have a boost to scan resolution. So you will be able to apply your DPS a lot better. Firestorms will have a penalty to thermal resist, but will have a bonus to armor HP. And finally, Gamma will have a penalty to explosive resist, but will have a bonus to shields HP, plus 50%. Now, the 7 types of filaments that you're going to be seeing is going to be Tranquility, which is a 0. 1 is Calm. 2 is Agitated. I can't pronounce that. Sorry. Number 3 will be Fierce. Number 4 is Raging. Number 5 is Chaotic. And number 6 is Cataclysmic. This last one and this first one were recently added. I want to say they were added within the last 2 to 3 months. I'm not too sure, but they were recently added. And one easy way that you can see which filament is what, it's actually going to take me here. You currently don't see any spikes in this, right? So that will be a level 0. In Calm, you will see 1 spike. So that's level 1. In the number 2, you will see 2 spikes. So that's number 2. Fierce will have 3. Raging will have 4. Chaotic will have 5. And then the Cataclysmic will have the 6, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It obviously also has the little spikes. So you kind of know, yeah, this one's a little bit more special. And if you have it in your inventory, you're going to see that it's a lot worth a lot more than your usual filament. Now, I don't exactly know what this means because I do know that it's different. Like when you go from a 4 to a 5, the effect is different. So your penalty amount is a little bit different, but I couldn't tell you exactly how much more. It just says random per run. I just don't know if that's exactly true because every time I've done a number 4, the penalties has always been the same for me. So I don't exactly know why they put this, but they might have a reasoning behind it. I just don't know what the reasoning behind that is. So yes, but we'll move on from that. These will be the rat info or the rat types that we'll be facing. The Angel Cartel, I believe where are they? Angel, yes. So their Cinnaballs are a little bit scary, just because. I might as well just go through it. So their Cinnaball, it's a little bit scary just because they do apply different things to your ship. They may be neuting you out. They may be webbing you. They might have an extra attack to them, and they are pretty scary. And you seen me in the previous video where I did say that I had a bad experience with the Angel Rooms, so I do kind of like to fly away from them. I often will circle around just because they're to me they're kind of the scarier room. And the other scary room is the Concord ships. The Concord room, which will usually have the Marshal within it, is absolutely the most terrifying room to fly in Abyssal. If you if you don't take out the Marshal fairly quickly, you will basically die. It can either neuter you out or it will just blab you off the face. It's just, it's just, you're going to be gone. So you want to do that. If you encounter it with if you're running electricals, there is a red orb or aura that makes your signature bloom. So you're basically taking more of the attack because your signature is a lot bigger. So those are the real scary rooms. Some people say that the Leshak room may be scary, but the Leshak, you can disengage from them by just flying away from them, and their range will not be good enough to actually hit you. So you will be getting hit, but you can run away from the buildup of the DPS. So usually the Leshak room is not too scary. Let's talk about this. Okay. So the Villa Swarm drones, and you will often see like the Shining Villa, Damavik. All of these are just basically mini drones that come out of the frigates or the cruisers. They really do not apply that much DPS to you. Yes, they can apply a lot if you're in in one of those red auras that I was telling you, where your signature blossoms a lot more. But usually you can just ignore the little drones, and they will come out with an icon similar to this, which is just the swarm drones. You don't have to worry about it. It is actually, you're perfectly fine ignoring them, and just going for the frigates or for the cruisers. In those rooms, I usually go for the frigates, just because if you kill the frigate, all the drones that are swarming you, they start dying. They basically just start stopping. The only thing that you do have to do in that room is that if you are killing, you're assigning yourself to the frigates, you have to assign your drones to move over to the next frigate, because sometimes they will like to attack the drones, and you're just wasting your DPS on applying it to a drone when you could just be killing the things that are controlling it. Okay, so the Sancha do have a scary NPC, which is the Knight. This will be the name that you kind of want to remember when you're running the Sancha. This will hit you like a freight train. They usually come in pairs of 2s or maybe 3s. If you see a room with more than 3 knights, you want to fly away from them. And if there's any red bloom, do not go near it, because your radius again will increase, which means you take a lot more DPS from them, and they will also They're very, very heavy dealers, damage dealers. They do have a high range, like I was saying, and they can nuke you out fairly quickly. Everything else in the Sun Shell is pretty easy. Nothing should worry you. You want to keep an eye whenever you see any frigates with the Fisher name. They might want to web you, but usually you can take care of them fairly quickly. 1 or 2 volleys from your drones and they're completely dead. The Triglavian Collective. Yep. So let's talk about that. The battleships that you really need to worry about are going to be the striking, which are just generic damage dealers. Anything in the Triglavians that says striking, you need to worry about them because they're the incoming DPS. Anything that says starving can nuke you out. So if you're already having trouble with your cap, stay away from anything that says starving because they will nuke you out. The battleships have a long range for the nuding, but usually they have to build up their you have to be within their range so they can build up their DPS. So you may be nuded out, but if you're flying fast enough, you'll be fine. But Triglavian, usually you don't have to worry too much about it. However, there is a couple of rooms where you can face a handful, and when I say a handful, maybe up to 5 Kikimoras. They're all starving or all striking. They can be scary just because they can get in your face, and it does take a few volleys to get them off the field. But other than that, you want to primary the tangling, followed by the starving, and then the striking. However, if you only see 1 tangling and 1 starving, and you see 10 striking, primary the striking just because they are gonna create a lot of DPS in you. That's the only thing scary about the Triglavian. They move really fast and they can be in your face in no time. Most of the other ones will give you a gradual pace where you can at least take 1 or 2 of the DPS ships before they actually reach your face. And the sleeper drones. The sleeper drones usually are not too big of a deal. You want to be worried about the wardens. These are going to be the frigates because they do web you. They usually are about 4 per wave if you ever do get these rats on the field. This deep watchers are going to be the battleships. They will be at half armor and half hull. And they will be repping each other, which I don't see why they are repping each other, but they are maintaining each other, and they're also target painting you. They usually do not make a lot of DPS onto you, so once you kill the smaller rats, if you have one of these Cyber drone battleships, there will be 2 of them. They will be closer to the gate. They usually do not move. You kill everything else that is surrounding them. Usually it's maybe a handful of frigates, maybe 2 frigates and a cruiser. Sometimes it's 2 cruisers, 3 cruisers. It doesn't really matter. You kill whatever is around them, and you concentrate on applying DPS onto the battleships, one at a time. They usually, once you kill everything else around them, they're just there to make you slow down on your time. And what I mean by that is that, you want to be able to hit each room fairly quickly so you can get out and not run into the problem where the bubble will become unstable and you will die inside of the Abyssal. Usually here, again, you just want to concentrate on these webbings and the upholder. The warden and the upholder are really what you want to concentrate on. Usually they do not have a lot of DPS. They will have a lot of frigates sometimes, but nothing to worry about. You may be actual to see rogue drones, which is the Drifter and the Seekers, where they come together. Or you'll see rogue drones with Triglavians. Usually when that happens, it's just frigates. Nothing to worry too much about. You just need to get rid of them off the field. Half of the time will be a frigate wave of about 10 or 15 of them. They're all frigates. They may web you, but nothing too scary that you cannot just face tank it. But if you are worried about it, there are some things that you can do, like taking a standardized blue pill or an improved blue pill will help you with your shields, and that's about it. I'm not gonna cover this too much. I just want to actually continue now running through the actual side. Now again, the factions that you'll be able to see for the possible rooms are going to be Rogue Drones, Drifters, Seekers, Draglavian, the Sancha Nations, Concord, and Angel Cartels. Now let's go and run a site. I think I gave a lot more information this time. I hope you guys appreciate this one more than the last one. You do want to make sure that you're fully repaired. This is just some of the stuff that I've been collecting. I think I ran 3 sites, I believe. Yeah, 3 sites, and I got about 90 some mil. I am buying these. I have I think I do market order. Oh, they're already sold. I have them for about 14 mil 500. So they are expensive, but you are making a good return on them. So yes, I bought 10. So I have 6 left plus the one we have. So yes, those are 90 some thousand, or about 30 mil per site. So you're doubling up on the return of in the investment that you're making. So you're paying 15 mil, you're making about 30 mil out. Now again, you want to make this in a safe side, because you cannot be within 100 kilometers of a station, gate, mobile depot, whatever, basically any orbiting structure, any deployable. You don't want to be in any of that within 100 kilometers, and another Abyssal runner within 1,000 kilometers. Nothing scary in local. We're just gonna put it right here. Again, before I continue, do want to give a shout out. Let me just clear this. Clear our content. If you haven't already joined, make sure you join the Abyssal Lurker group. They will give you a lot of information. And if you actually want to just check the Eve Uni, you can just click on this link. It will take you directly to the one that I was reading for you. All right. Oh, one last thing. Let's reload that. I should probably wait, but whatever. I don't think anything bad is going to happen. All right, guys, let's go see. Okay. So I think these are, yep, this is the Angel Cartel. We're just gonna go and move to one of these caches that is off to the right. Ooh, big mistake right here. Okay, whenever you come in the room, you do want to make sure you start your reppers. See if I don't die here. Okay, so there's one mistake that you can obviously make. Now we're gonna concentrate on these webbers, because we are taking damage, so we want to get away from things, and the best way to get away from things is not being webbed. The faster we move, the less DPS we take. Now you do see my shields coming back up. I could have used my I could have overheated, but at this point I don't feel in that danger of doing so. It was a quick mistake that they moved way faster than I thought they were gonna be into my face, and they were hitting me harder than I thought they were gonna hit me. I do have these two still webbing me, at least one of them. But since I don't have any incoming DPS, I don't see the reason why I have to primary them. I will get rid of the frigates first, just because I want to get rid of anything that can hurt my my drones. So I am taking damage into my drones, but because of the situation that we were in, getting into the room, I'm not going to return them until I'm done with the frigates. And then we will actually take out our a little bit more expensive drones. I have been told that not to run with these very expensive drones. These are about 30 mil each. But when you can use the DPS in your favor, when you can apply it better, especially if you are talking about cruisers, then having these augmented infiltrators will do the job a lot better. We're actually going to put a little bit more DPS, putting them with our rapid lights also on them. We are using the Kodari Navy light missiles, which I believe these are the EM missiles. Yep, EM we'll go with the next one. No, drones don't split. Let's go together to that target. There we go. Now we're almost done with the first room. They are webbing us, so we do want to move on from this room. We've only been here for less than 3 minutes, so we're doing good time. But if you were running low on time, ignore this right here and just go to the bioadaptive cache, which will be your primary loot. Because I have a little bit more time, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. It might be because I'm recording, but I wasn't paying attention, and that augmented drone was taking a lot of damage. You do have to micromanage your damage to your drones because you don't want to be basically defanged with the inability to have any drones. So I'm not gonna do that. I wasn't paying attention because I'm recording the video. So like I said, there is, like I said, mistakes that I can make. You can make them too. I made 2 big bad mistakes. Not turning on my represent as soon as I could, and also my afterburner, and that caused me to have that panic in the beginning of the room. So there's that, guys. Make sure you're always paying attention. I think I made a point of saying that the last time I did this video. I've obviously not paying attention. Now we're getting 3 mil from this, and let's go to the next room. Now we did accomplish this room with 5 minutes, which is a little bit slow for how I like to run. So from here on, I'm actually just going to go to the adaptive cache and circle. This is going to be a cruiser room. Oh, nope. Okay, so this is one of the rooms where, never mind, I'm not going to go there. Okay. Let's just circle her. So this is the Karen room. This is a very famous room because of the enemy that you're facing. And I shouldn't be facing right on to her. I'm probably going to... Yeah, I'm just going to face tank it. Let's go ahead and kill her. Once you get under her guns, she cannot hit you. She cannot apply any damage to you. And there is nothing in the field that is going to web you. But you do want to keep an eye on this one right here, which is nuding you out. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'm just going to stop my rapid lights from them and go to this one. Once you get into the orbit of Karen, she cannot hit you because you're, at least in this aura that I'm in, which is the one that gives you the speed. And it's called the Taichion. It basically makes it that you are moving faster than you should. She will fly to the edge of the map, so you kind of have to pay attention to where she's at, because she does in this case have the same speed you do. She is moving a lot faster. But oh, we got a party invite. We'll be joining that party after we're done with this video. But as long as you stay within under her guns, she's basically not going to be able to move out of your range, and she cannot hit you with her guns. So all you're doing is just waiting for your drones to kill her. Now, I don't recommend you doing this if you don't have the speed boost of this cloud, just because going up to her can hurt you a lot. Like if you saw the first volley that she hit me with, she did like 25% worth of my shield. Now, if you were slower, you could have taken that damage a lot greater, which would have hurt a lot more. You could have possibly been volleyed off the field with one shot. Now, once she dies, I am going to just kind of lock up the adaptive biocache. I'm going to be flying over there. The drones will start killing all these other NPCs, which I don't have a problem with. Like I said, there's nothing there that is going to create any damage to me. And now my speed is a lot lower because I actually got out of the cloud that gave you the extra speed. But that's fine. I'm going back into it. You can just launch it and then wait for your drones to kill the rest of the room. Okay. Now they're not applying any sort of true DPS to you, so you don't have to worry. When this rabbit light gets reloaded, I will start shooting at them, but we're just working on our time now. There's 3 mil out of that. Okay. And let's go orbit the transfer conduit. So both of these first 2 rooms were rooms that I don't like. I actually said that I didn't like the Angel Cartel room, and that's the first room I get. And then this second room is the worst Seeker room that you can get, with a lot of cruisers. And Karen is that battleship. She, like I said, likes to fly out to the edge of the map, which will slow down your time. And our time is definitely suffering right now. We still have 9 minutes. We should have more than enough to clear the last room, but we don't want to see another Karen room, or we don't want to see another Angel room where we get hit with a lot of DPS. Right now, what we would like for the next room to be would be a frigate room, which just has about 10 or 15 frigates. We can clear that off the field fairly quickly, and we can get out of here. All right, that's there. We're going to return. Whenever they return to me, I will go on to the next room. Now, the thing that I hadn't shown you is that after you kill the last rat, the transfer conduit will open. Same thing will happen with the last one, which is called the origin conduit. Just basically means that you will return to your origins. And we're off to the third room. Okay, so it is a frigate. Okay, striking, Damavik, striking. Okay. We're gonna fly off to this one right here. We want to be not in these red bubbles, and this will be probably the best place for us not to be in one of those red bubbles. Your drones that apply the best DPS will probably be your faction ones. I hate when they split, because it makes things to kill a lot slower. So we're going to put them back together into this ghosting one. The ghosting is just taking your range, I believe. Let's see if that's the ghosting. Yes, so the ghosting does the tracking. It reduces your tracking. So we're going to get rid of all the strikings first, like I said, because they're the ones applying the DPS. If we had any entangling, we would be taking care of those after. But striking is the only thing I see. There's another one right there. Let's deal with that one. Once they are off the field, anything that remains is going to be a lot less DPS. We can continue to lock up some of these targets. But again, these are going to be 1 or 2 volleys, and they will be out of the picture. Let's go ahead and hit that. Is there nothing there? Yep, there is something here. Okay, that's another 3 mil. This room has not been the greatest loot find, for sure. We've only made about, let's see. We've only made about 13 mil, which we're barely going to cover the, we still have the adaptive, but we're barely going to be covering the cost of the filament. So hopefully in this last biocache we get something better. And again, we didn't loot the last room because we were running low on time. We didn't want to find ourselves where we would need more time for this final room, so that's why I didn't loot those caches that were left behind. Let's just kill this thing. Oh, there was a starving? I didn't even notice. So you do want to pay attention to what the names of these are. Like I said previously, the beginning is really what will matter. Starving means that they're going to eat your cap. That's one way to see it. But like I said, 2 volleys off the drones and they're gone. It's not something that we need to worry too much about. Let's see. Hopefully something good. Well, 6 mil. It covered the total cost of the filament with a little bit extra. This definitely was not the best return on investment, but this is what happens sometimes, and it's good that you guys see this, so you get a clearer picture of what you're really going to get yourself into. Sometimes you will have the return on the investment done immediately in one room. Usually run around 10 total filaments, and then I see whether or not I'm in my return. Most of the times when you do run around that time, I was scared there. Yeah, so if you try to leave without killing the last rat, it basically tells you that you can't. Since it is just a Vedmac, you can just orbit the gate. The drones will take care of this. If you want to apply more DPS, that's perfectly fine. See, the rapid lights just make it go a lot faster. There we go. We'll return our drones. We don't want to lose them. I think we lost one in this run, so it's about 1 mil that you lose if you lose one of these faction, and we'll leave. Now, I do want to make sure that whenever you are in this point, you do make sure that you leave the room. Sometimes it doesn't actually leave the room. You just get stuck at the gate. But we ran that in about 15 minutes. So it wasn't too terrible. Let's go to the station. And I think that's going to be it. The last thing I want to remind everybody, like I said, I am not a professional. I will make mistakes. I will leave the link to the Eve University website, or like I said previously, if you join the Abyssal Lurkers in-game channel, and it's just like this, Abyssal Lurkers, you will be able to just click on the MOTD. But last link in the MOTD is that Eve University link that I used to talk a little bit about the information today. And join the Facebook online group, the Eve online group, which has, like I said, a bunch of people in it. They're great fun. You can learn a lot by veteran pilots or newbies. You can learn a lot. Doesn't matter where you get your information, as long as you're getting information and you're growing as a pilot. Again, have fun, fly safe, and I'll see you in episode number 15.